Edward Preble is over the moon after Reba McEntire uses her final steal on him on The Voice. Preble performed Send in the Clowns by Judy Collins on Tuesday's show after coming close to elimination during The Voice knockouts on Tuesday, November 12. Preble got a second chance thanks to Reba McEntire. Preble, who was previously on Team Buble, performed Send in the Clowns by Judy Collins for the knockouts round. He was up against fellow contestants Shy and J. Paul. Edward, my amigo, my taller double. We stand on the shoulders of our heroes, my friend. Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. I can go down the list. Buble 49 said to Preble. Why Gwen Stefani thinks Reba McEntire is mad at her on The Voice, he continued. I love that you are finding your way quickly and adapting, and more than anything you have a good soul. All the crew that hangs out with you guys backstage would always say, wow, that kid is such a sweet kid. During the feedback portion from the other coaches, McEntire expressed interest in Preble, but never outwardly said who she would choose to keep on her team if it were up to her. Edward, you have fascinated me since the very beginning. For you to be still in your teens, you're such a mature soul. Way to go, I'm just thrilled, McEntire 69 said. Then when Buble announced he was keeping Shy, Preble was a good sport about it. Honestly, I think you made a great choice. She has a great, amazing, powerful voice, and I can see her going very far in this competition, he said. And just as he was going to hug Buble goodbye, McEntire hit her final steal button with a big smile. Four-chair turn Tanner Frick abruptly leaves The Voice after being stolen by Michael Buble. I was not expecting you. Are you serious? You're so sweet, he said as he hugged McEntire. In a one-on-one, McEntire said she loved Edward from the very beginning. He is a character. He's got a great sense of humor, and there's not that many people that take that genre of music up. But when they are, they're passionate about it. And you see that with Edward. The It's Your Call singer said. It's gonna be fun working with him. During his one-on-one, Preble said he was over the moon and jumped up and down with excitement. The Voice airs Mondays and Tuesdays on NBC at 8 p.m. And episodes are available to stream on Peacock the next day. In a season packed with awe-inspiring performances, dramatic eliminations, and high-octane showdowns, one contestant's journey has truly captured the imagination of fans across the country. Edward Preble. The rising star's voice and emotional depth made him a standout from the beginning, but it was his latest development that really sent waves across the reality TV landscape. On a recent episode of The Voice, Reba McEntire used her final steal to save Preble from elimination, cementing his place as one of the most compelling stories of the season. For Edward, the moment was nothing short of a dream come true, one that he describes as being over the moon about. The young singer from a small town in the Midwest has had anything but a straightforward path to success. From struggling with self-confidence to finding his voice in an often competitive industry, Edward's story is one of perseverance, passion, and raw talent. And with Reba McEntire, a legend in country music, putting her faith in him, the sky is truly the limit for this emerging star. A tense night on The Voice, the night of the battle rounds, was electric, as it so often is. Contestants stood on stage knowing they were one performance away from either moving forward or watching their dream fade away. Edward Preble, like many others, faced an intense vocal battle with a fellow teammate that left the audience and judges spellbound. Their duet was filled with harmonies that soared, along with moments of tension as both performers sought to outshine the other. Despite a strong performance, the decision came down to his coach, who ultimately chose Edward's partner to move forward, leaving him vulnerable to elimination. For a brief moment, it seemed as though Edward's time on The Voice had come to an abrupt end, until Reba McEntire pressed her button and used her final steal to bring him onto her team. The timing couldn't have been more dramatic. With the room bursting into applause and Edward's face breaking into a disbelieving smile, it was a moment that felt straight out of a Hollywood script. Edward Preble's emotional reaction for Edward being saved by Reba McEntire was an experience he could hardly put into words. In a post-performance interview, he reflected on the roller coaster of emotions he felt in that moment. When I heard my name, I thought it was over, he admitted. I gave everything I had on that stage, but when my coach didn't call me, I thought that was it. But then Reba hit her button. I can't even describe how that felt. It's like my heart skipped a beat. I'm still over the moon about it. What makes Edward's journey particularly special is the sheer relatability of his story. As someone who grew up idolizing country legends like Reba, he never imagined he would one day be standing on stage receiving praise from her, let alone having her as his coach. "I remember growing up and listening to her songs with my family," he said. "She's a living legend, and to know that she believes in me enough to use her final steal, it's just unreal." The power of Reba McEntire's steal for fans of The Voice. The concept of the steal is one of the show's most thrilling aspects. It gives a second chance to contestants who might have otherwise been sent home, offering them a lifeline and, more importantly, a new coach with fresh perspectives. In Edward's case, that new coach is none other than Reba McEntire, a towering figure in the world of country music with decades of experience. Reba's decision to use her final steal on Edward Preble speaks volumes about her belief in his potential. Throughout the season, she has been careful with her steals, holding on to them for just the right moment. That she chose to use it on Edward, especially at such a critical point in the competition, underscores her confidence in his voice, his artistry, and his ability to make a deep impact in the coming weeks. When asked about her decision, Reba explained her thought process. "Edward has this undeniable spark," she said. "His voice is so rich and heartfelt. I could see how much heart and soul he put into that performance. He may not have won that round, but I know he has what it takes to go all the way. I didn't want to see him go home. He's got something special, and I wanted to be part of that journey." What comes next for Edward with Reba McEntire as his mentor? Edward Preble now has a chance to refine his craft under the guidance of one of the most respected voices in country music. This mentorship is a golden opportunity that goes far beyond the competition. It's a chance for Edward to learn from an icon, to grow as an artist, and to gain insights into what it takes to succeed in the music industry. In the weeks following Reba's steal, Edward has already started to show signs of growth. His performances have become more dynamic, and his confidence on stage has skyrocketed. Fans of the show have taken notice, with many predicting that Edward will be one of the season's breakout stars. Social media has been buzzing with support for Edward, with fans praising both his vocal abilities and his humble attitude. "Edward Preble is the real deal," one fan tweeted. "That kid has so much heart, and now that he's on Team Reba, I really think he's going to go far." Another fan posted, "Reba McEntire using her final steal on Edward was the best moment of the season so far. I can't wait to see what they do together." The road ahead as Edward continues his journey on The Voice, the pressure is only going to mount. The competition is fierce, and the remaining contestants are all incredibly talented. However, with Reba in his corner and a growing fan base rallying behind him, Edward is in a prime position to go far in the competition. His next challenge will be proving that he's worthy of the faith that Reba has placed in him. While the steal has given him a second chance, Edward knows that he'll need to bring even more energy, passion, and precision to each performance moving forward. The stakes are higher than ever, but Edward remains focused on what matters most, delivering authentic, powerful performances that connect with the audience. In the end, win or lose, Edward Preble's journey on The Voice is already a success story in its own right. He has captured the hearts of millions, gained the mentorship of an industry legend, and most importantly, he's grown as an artist. For Edward, this is just the beginning, and as he continues to reach for the stars, it's clear that he's already over the moon.